Thank you so much. Dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries off the dais. Very good to see all of you in a physical mode. Uh, Services is I would say, champion area of Indian exports. We were around 10 billion 20 years back, and now we have touched 215 billion US dollars. So it is an area which has seen very good growth which has surpassed the growth in merchandise exports and has a potential to grow even faster. WTO, as well as many international organizations, actually they predict that maybe by 2040, the services share in the international trade will overtake the goods trade. So services is an increasingly important area, and even in goods trade, a lot of value addition is actually services. In fact, when we discuss about services, we start with education, we go into research, health. So everything is then support services in terms of financial services, construction services, logistics services. So goods has component of all these services. Now, today we are discussing how we are planning exploring our future beyond IT enabled services. We all know that out of this 215 billion US dollar, which I was telling, a predominant share is our IT and IT enabled services. Now, there are many champion sectors which have been identified. In fact, 11 more sectors apart from our IT and IT enabled services, which have been identified for focused attention. And a lot of work has already been done in these champion sectors. But still, we have a very, very long way to go. Just to give some numbers, if we take tourism, I mean, worldwide, we have more than 1 billion people who are traveling. And we have a very, very small share of that. We are smaller than even countries like Thailand, Malaysia, in terms of international tourists. Education, if you see, higher education, we have more than 5 million students who are traveling to different countries to take education. India, we get around 50,000 students. Health, for healthcare, more than, I mean, there are no exact estimates on what is the healthcare market for international patients, but a lot of research studies have pointed out that it is around 100 billion US dollars, and we are around 2 to 3 billion US dollars. Construction is again a very, very big area. Audiovisual sector is in billions and billions of dollars, the overall share of the international market. So there is a big market out there in services sector. That is the point which I want to make, and in sectors other than IT and IT enabled services. So we have a big market to access, exploit, reach out to, if we have to really grow in our exports. Now, what could be the strategies to grow? So I will not take much time because there is very limited time available. I will only point to some 5 important items from my side, which I think are very critical when we are looking into future for growth of our services export. The first, which has been actually very much emphasized during the pandemic also, is online delivery of services. How can we leverage the digital platforms? How can we become part of digital e-commerce? How can we deliver our services through a remote mechanism? Our IT and IT enabled services actually did not lose their share during the pandemic. And most of the countries have sensitivities to people traveling to their countries, giving work visas, allowing them to stay in their country. So we are finding there is a pushback on that, but there is a lot of receptivity to digital delivery of services. So how can we become more adaptive in delivering our services remotely? In fact, health services is the biggest example and a biggest, I would say, revelation during the pandemic. The teleconsultations has actually grown in last 10 months to an extent which it has not grown in last 20 years. We are all seeing each state is having a hub and a spoke model where B2B as well as B2 citizen, the doctor to doctor and doctor to citizen services are being delivered through telemedicine mode. So there is a enormous potential there. So I would strongly urge that all our businesses, to the extent feasible, should try and look at digital mode for delivery of their services. While doing so, we will have to prepare ourselves for a number of things like data privacy. We will have to prepare ourselves for ensuring that we are within the regulatory regime of that particular country. So digital delivery is one. The second thing which I would like to point out is many of the professional services, a lot of professional services are our champion services, like architecture services, engineering services, medical services. So all these services, chartered accountant services, legal services, all these services are driven by professionals, and recognition of professionals varies from country to country. And we also have our professional bodies which are regulating these professions in our country. The Bar Council regulates the legal profession, the Nursing Council, they regulate the nursing profession. There is a Veterinary Council for veterinaries, Chartered Accountant Association for chartered accountant. So all these professional bodies, through all these professional bodies, we need to reach out to other countries for mutual recognition arrangements. So arrangements on a reciprocal basis that they should recognize our professionals and we can recognize their professionals. I think with the kind of talent which we have, the strong foundations which we have in our professional institutions, I think we need not worry about giving a reciprocal market access on the professional services. So I think that is a big area, and allied to it is not only regulated professions, but number of other skills also, like our electricians, like our plumbers, like our allied medical professionals. So we need to harmonize our professional, I would say, qualifications with the standards which are there at the international level, and try and ensure that we get recognition and enter into MRAs with the countries of our interest. So that is the second point which I would like to urge. The third point which I would like to mention is the reforms which are required, the policy and the regulatory reforms which are required. We have seen a lot of work which has been done in that particular context. You would have seen work from home was enabled for SEZs. The other service provider licensing requirements were rationalized by Department of Telecommunication. The new education policy which has come will enable digital delivery of education services, online delivery of our education services, allowing foreign campuses to establish presence in India, allowing our campuses to go and establish presence outside. So I think reforms in our different services sectors is a way forward, and we have tried to work with many industries, many associations in putting together a compendium of reforms which we need in each sector, so that we can expand our exports. And these reforms need to happen not only at the central level. Many of the reforms need to happen at the state level. When we talk about services, I worked as Commissioner Industries in Government of Karnataka. We used to have industrial policy. We never had services policy. Then we partnered with SCPC. We came out with a policy on services. How we can incentivize our services? How can we remove the impediments which are there for our services sector to grow further? So that is the third thing which I would like to mention about the services sector reforms and the policy changes. The fourth one which I would like to mention is the FTAs. We are now entering. So FTAs is basically market access, and market access in services is a bit different from what is the format for market access in goods. In services, we get a lot of certainty on what we get in the market. So we are now negotiating FTAs with many, many important countries. We are negotiating with UK, we are negotiating with Australia, we are starting with Canada. So we are starting with the European Union. So these are big services markets. Now, how do we translate our requirements in these markets into actual text? So that is the challenge. So for that, we would need very, very close interaction with the industry through SCPC, through other business chambers to ensure that we get the best out of these FTAs. That is the fourth thing. And last thing, which I would like to mention for SCPC, we have been discussing in SCPC many times, we should have a dynamic B2B portal, a portal which can be used by our service providers to reach out to markets abroad. We should have continuous engagement so that people outside know who are the service providers in India. They can see our credentials, and then we can get more and more business. One more thing there in SCPC, I would urge them to put on their website list of all service providers in our country, in all the important sectors. So if that is there, I think we can present to the world that different service providers are there, and our missions abroad can also use them to try and facilitate our businesses in getting markets abroad. So these were the 5 points. I will stop at that. I'll not make it very lengthy. So thank you very much. Look forward to interact with you. Thank you.